of that?
Magic did.
He's the only guy. Only one.
Magic got a touch of that. That's all you can handle, man. You don't win no more than a touch. Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I'm Chris Witt. With me, as always, Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
Spectacular. How are you?
Buddy, I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm about as good as you can be, but if I was any better, I would be you.
Man, got my partner back this week. The Reds are playing great ball.
Reds are playing baseball like they belong in a pennant race. They got 4 All-Stars in their rotation now. We'll get into a little bit of that here in a second. But just to let everybody know, we are the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. We are on. We come on once a week. Wednesdays, we record Wednesdays, 10:30 p.m. You can catch that live on the Facebook. You also have. You can also get us on YouTube or Spotify or iTunes, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio. There's a lot of them.
Almost
I don't
anywhere.
even know them all. If you listen to podcasts, whatever you listen to, if we're not on there, let me know because we need to figure out what we're doing wrong. So anyway, I'm back. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm okay. I'm not in Mexico anymore, but that's okay.
Back to reality.
Which is not a bad thing. We can handle that. So anyway, it's time to talk baseball. I missed not doing the podcast last week. I missed it so much that I called in.
You still did the podcast.
I still did a big portion of it, and I apologize to Joey Schmidt. Once again, big thanks to Joe, G.I. Joe, Gastrointestinal Joe, for helping out Adam last week. You did an amazing job. I apologize that I stole all your thunder, that you got to be on the podcast, and I just decided that I was calling in and I was going to take over 25, 30 minutes of it by myself.
No apology necessary. He loved it. And we're going to jump into some baseball here. Before we do that, though, the Nosebleed Sports Podcast is sponsored by a couple of folks, one being Training Personally with Peggy Edwards. No matter your level of fitness, if you like to be challenged and want the benefit of working with a personal trainer without paying for the cost of a personal trainer, then Training Personally with Peggy Edwards is the gym for you. Training Personally is interval circuit training for all levels with a personal trainer at your pace on your time. Peggy Edwards keeps your workouts fresh, fun, and safe. She knows what she's doing. Great place to be. Go check it out. TrainingPersonally.com. or on Facebook, Training Personally with Peggy Edwards.
Strong Peggy. She's a strong woman.
She is.
So also brought to you by our friends at Ohio Mosquito Control. When I was in Mexico, Adam, they had bugs that were the size of my hand. They were monster grasshoppers. I didn't see any mosquitoes, but it's probably because they had a cousin or two of the Ohio Mosquito Control in Cincinnati, ohio-mc.com, down there making sure that we all had a lovely time, not getting bit up by anything crazy. Anyway, the Ohio Mosquito Control, you can catch them if you got a mosquito problem in your yard. These are the guys to get a hold of. They come out. They're going to spray for you. It's all done over. You can do it all through the internet. Schedule your appointment. They'll do reoccurring. They'll do one time sprays if you got some kind of big party going. I got a big pool party this weekend for the 7U baseball team.
Nice.
Got them all coming over, jumping around in the pool for a little bit. Came out last week. Make sure that we were going to be ready to go. They're at Ohio Mosquito Control offers quality services to the Cincinnati area at reasonable prices. They are family owned and operated. It's a professional mosquito control that you can just jump online, ohio-mc.com. They're awesome. It's all natural. They're going to make sure the honeybees stay alive and all that good stuff.
There you have it. That's good news.
All right, so now that couple seconds is out of the way.
We have let's jump into, so we need to put a bow on this thing that we spent almost the entire podcast last week
Yes,
talking about.
We did. But and I could go on longer. However, teams have left, people have left teams, everything's starting to change up a little bit. So let's just put as you said, we'll tie a little pretty little ribbon bow on the top of it. Let's just finish this off because there were suspensions handed down
There
in
were.
the Puig fight.
Yes.
The Puig fight? No. It's the,
No.
the Pirates and Reds fight.
Yeah. So David Bell and Clint Hurdle were both suspended, as they should have been. I'm not even going to before I give my opinion. David Bell and Clint Hurdle both suspended. David Bell 6 games, Clint Hurdle 2. As far as the players go, Amir Garrett got 8. That's the most for any Red. Jarrett Hughes got 3. Yasiel Puig got 3. You had Joey Votto and Phillip Ervin get fined. As far as the Pirates players go, Keone Kayla, I'm going to just say it that way. I don't care what his name is.
Wait, first off, hold on. How many games did Bell get?
David Bell got 6 games.
6 games.
Which he just served. He will be back tomorrow.
He'll be back for the biggest series coming up right here, buddy.
Exactly.
4-game against the Cubbies.
Exactly. And then Clint Hurdle got 2 games. He served those right away.
So he did not try to appeal his.
No, and neither did David Bell.
Well, David Bell was in the middle rolling around like a crazy person. He
Right.
came out of the dugout after being ejected. I didn't expect that to happen.
Right.
Clint Hurdle just sat back there and yelled at him.
So neither manager appealed. All of the players that were given suspensions have appealed, so they have none of them have served their suspensions yet, as far as I know. I know none of the Reds have. As far as I know, none of the Pirates have. So that obviously the appeal process has to go all the way through, take place. I don't know how long it's going to take, but once they kind of re-review, I guess.
Re-review? I like the So first off, did they not? So who reviews this? Who is it the same people that handed down the suspension in the first place?
That's a good question. I don't know. It may be, or they might have a team that looks at it.
Didn't they review it before they handed down the suspensions? They came up with what they were going to do. What are you trying to? I don't understand.
I'm with you. I don't know. I don't know how appeals. I don't know how you appeal and get a lesser suspension unless you get a chance to actually state your case. I guess that's where it comes in. You get to actually state your case and say, "Hey, this is what happened. This is what happened from my perspective. This is why I did this. I feel like 8 games isn't justified or whatever."
Yeah.
But as far as the Pirates go, Kayla got 10 games, which was the most for any player.
Thank goodness. And that tells me that somebody's paying attention. And he wouldn't have got that, I don't think, if he didn't say what he said after the game.
I agree with you. Also, you had Jose Osuna get 5 games, Kyle Crick 3 games. So those are the suspensions for the Pirates. Now, so then let's dive into that. Are all of the suspensions, were they too much? Were they just right? Or were they not enough? Let's go one by one. How about Kayla? Are you good with 10 games? Should it be more? Is it right on?
I'm good with 10 games. As a reliever, you're actually being hurt in that situation as a reliever. So I'm good with 10 games for him.
Okay. So then Jose Osuna, infielder, was just heavily involved, I guess, in the fight.
Yeah, kind of like Puig was. Not
right.
really didn't really have a ton to do with it.
But kind of escalated it as it happened, right?
Yeah.
So he got 5 games. Good there.
5 games. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I guess if you're
if anything, he got the most. He got more than probably anybody than he should have out of anybody else.
Because if we're comparing him to Puig, what basically they were doing the same thing, had the same kind of role. Puig only got 3 games, and Osuna got 5. So. Then you had Kyle Crick with 3, and he was one of the instigators too.
Yeah.
So and then you had Trevor Williams, who I believe was the guy that was really barking at Amir Garrett. That Amir Garrett actually went after.
That's the reason he went after.
Right. So he got fined. He didn't get suspended, but he got fined, and I believe Chris Archer may have gotten fined too, because he was involved in the whole thing as well.
Chris Archer started the whole thing, and I'm sure he was running his mouth.
So you're good with Kyle Crick with 3 games, or should he have gotten more? He was pretty vocal in getting that thing going.
Yeah, I'm good with 3 games.
Okay.
I think I'm good with 3 games in any of it.
Okay, so now I think the biggest one here, of course, you had Kayla who started the whole thing that night with the pitch up near Dietrich's head.
Yep.
Clint Hurdle, who people have been talking about, David Bell being the biggest one, but people all over baseball really have been talking about Clint Hurdle. Something has to be done about him because he needs to be responsible for all of these happenings that the Pirates have had throughout the year.
Into it. And it's not just with the Reds. This is a normal thing with the Pirates.
Right. You had Michael Wilbon on ESPN on Pardon the Interruption was saying the same thing. Something really drastic needs to happen with Clint Hurdle here because he is responsible for this. And, of course, Wilbon's a Cubs fan, so there's a little rivalry there too. But he watches more Pirates than most of the other teams in baseball because he's an NL Central guy. So and he was saying that he feels because he knows that the Pirates have had problems with a lot of other teams, like you said.
Yep.
Should Clint Hurdle get more than 2 games or something else? I mean, should something else happen to him because he is in charge of that team?
I think it's more. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would say that he should get more, but do
you fly him in? Do you fly him in to the offices and sit him down?
That's the thing.
And have
I think it's more of I think at some point in time, you tell the manager he's suspended for a few games. I mean, the manager's going to go, okay, so I'll sit in the dugout or He's
going to sit in his hotel room and eat pizza and watch the game.
I mean, but he's going to make the lineup card and he's going to tell the bench coach when he wants who to come in and in what situations. They've already got that figured out. So, he's just running. He's already basically got that game planned out. If you 4 inches thick, the whole game is planned out for every single situation. The manager has already, for the whole season, he's got it all figured out. So I don't know if that's the biggest deal to suspend him for a certain amount of games or whatever. It's more about sitting down and saying, listen, you've got to get a handle on your team about throwing at people.
Mm-hmm.
Just that needs to stop. Imagine if they played the Braves and Acuna hit a home run off of somebody. Jeez, Pete's, they'd be throwing at him for the next 5 years.
Right.
Because that dude might be as bad as anybody.
Is he?
He's the one against the Reds who, when they were losing the game, hit a bomb and was like bouncing up, pumping his chest and smacking himself and jumping around. And
I was watching
nuts.
that. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was in the very first game against the Braves. Anyway, that's not a point. I mean, that doesn't matter. The Reds didn't hit him. Big whoop. It is what it is. Yeah, he killed the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Kill it, you kill it. This dude, speaking of killing the ball, we'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay, so let's jump back over to the Reds. David Bell got 6 games. Is that, I mean, you kind of already said,
it is what it is, man. Yeah.
You can't come out of the clubhouse onto the field to fight when you've already been thrown out of the game, when you've already been ejected.
Can't happen. Cannot happen.
Okay, so I think we're both good with 6 games there. Now, Amir Garrett got the most of any Reds player. He got 8 games. Are you fine with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd been okay if he would have got 10, the same as Caleb, because what he did was he literally just took off running in off the mound into the Pirates dugout. Like, first off, that's dumb. Don't do that. That's 25 on 1. That doesn't sound like a very good odds. Number 2,
William Wallace going.
Yeah,
going
exactly. No, yeah. So I'm good with what he got. I think that was.
He actually started the fight. Like, he made sure there was a physical fight.
Oh, that was a physical. I mean, it was a legit fight, not a baseball fight. That was a legit fight. So yeah, I think I'm all right with that. It is what it is.
So then Jared Hughes got 3 games. He's the one that came in and hit first pitch, hit Starling Marte, got ejected, walked off the field like it was.
He knew what he was doing.
Right.
He knew exactly what was going to happen.
And he knew what he was doing because he is a veteran. And after the game, he said exactly what he's supposed to say. Man, that slipped.
It slipped. Man,
it
that
slipped,
ball got
man.
away. Caleb would only got, how many games did he get?
He got 10. Oh, Jared Hughes got 3.
Jared Hughes got 3.
Right.
Caleb would have got 3 if he just would have kept his mouth shut. He literally said, "Yeah, I tried to throw
a message
up at
pitch.
it. Yeah, I was sending a message." A message from April.
Yeah. And Jared Hughes was also sending a message pitch. He did the same thing. Now, it wasn't near his head. That's a little different.
Sure.
But he actually hit him.
And that's the other thing, too. There's a difference between throwing at a guy and throwing at a guy's head. There's a big difference there. And especially if you admit and you say that you were doing that on purpose. Take the ball, run it in, hit him in the lower back, hit him in the butt, hit him wherever, in the thigh. That's, get him in the meaty part of the body, and it is what it is. Walk off. They kick you out. They kick you out. If not, and then it should be done. That's what we thought all went down back in April. But
now you could make the argument that that throwing at Dietrich's head is a meaty part of the body because he's a meathead. So you could make that argument. Now Yasiel Puig got 3 games. Which doesn't matter to the Reds because he was traded like 15 minutes before that fight happened, and he was in the fight.
Cleveland Indian was in the fight. How cool is that?
Yeah, there were 3 teams involved in this fight.
3 teams involved in the fight.
On the field at the same time. First time ever. Okay, so Puig got 3. I mean, for his role, for what we talked about.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, he got 3. Whatever. He's good. I'm good with that.
I mean, like we said.
Here's the deal. Puig's going to have your back no matter what.
Right.
Fight breaks out, he's the first one out there.
We can get into what...
Call it have your back, call it he just wants to be in a fight, call it whatever you want, but if his team gets into something, he's going to be the first one there. That's how he grew up. I'm sure that's how he grew up. That's how it was.
And first one and continues it and continues it and continues it.
Yeah.
So if he would have gotten the same as Osuna...
He wants to finish it. Garrett might start it, but he's going to finish it.
Yeah, so if Puig would have gotten 5 like Osuna, I would have been fine with that. If Osuna got 3 like Puig, I think it would have been a little more. It would have made a little bit more sense there, I think. And Joe Torre handed these suspensions down, and he gave reasons for each one of them. So he had his reasons. I mean, he had his reasons for each guy, but the fact of the matter is everybody's still playing right now. Like we said,
they're all
waiting
appealing
for their appeals to go through.
I still don't understand the appeal process in a league like this. It makes no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. I agree with you.
And they'll all get like 1 game less. That's what will happen.
You think so? You think some of the guys
I do. I think they'll get like 1. Like if you got 3 games, it'll be 2. 5 games will be 3. 10 games will be 7. It'll be something goofy like that. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense at all. They're just like, oh, you appealed it. Okay, well, just knock a game or 2 off. Just serve the suspension.
It would be great if they appealed and they gave them all like 2 or 3 more games.
How good would that be?
That would be awesome.
They're like, you know what, Amir Garrett? Actually, I'm going to knock a couple more on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you up to 10
now. Yeah.
You're up to 10.
I would honestly, I would have no problem with that.
In Amir Garrett's situation, what is your appeal? Like when you appeal, okay, so I'm being suspended for 8 games.
They were yelling at me.
Like, what is your argument? What is your argument?
I don't know what it is.
I ran up there. I was really just trying to give that dude a 5. Like, hit the nut. You know what I mean? I was like, you're right, brother. I ran up, jumped in the air. I was like, knuckled up, dude. And he, he thought I was getting in a fight. What am I supposed to do from there?
It looked like a Superman punch. It wasn't. I was trying to dap him up.
I ran over there to hit the dap, and, everybody started jumping on me, so I had to jump over top of him to make sure I get him.
Let me ask you one more thing about this, and then we'll move on. Would it make sense to you if they handed down the suspensions? It said, because the Reds play 6 more games against the Pirates this year, if they would say, you have your certain amount of games, your suspension starts at the next game that you play each other. What if they make the suspensions?
Man, you have to play. I mean, they already are going to have to play with like 19 guys on each team.
Well, for a certain amount of time, for 3 games basically, because that's the smallest amount of.
Right. So then, I mean, whatever. I'm okay with that.
Can you see a scenario where? I mean, I don't know.
I don't see that happening. I think if they do it, it's going to be serve it right now. But I would love to see them actually go, you know what? We're done watching this crap. So you guys Next time y'all play each other, you guys just don't get to play each other.
To me, that would make perfect sense. Honestly, I think that's something that they should consider because I think that makes the most sense. Who cares if they're not playing against the Braves or the Marlins or whoever? It doesn't matter. There wasn't an issue there.
Right.
You can try to make sure that this thing doesn't happen again if you have the guys that were most involved, and the guys that were most involved in this one were mostly the same guys who were most involved in the first one too.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course Puig's not there, so that's going to be, that's a little bit, that's a guy that's you're worried a little bit less about, I guess. But you still have Garrett, you still have all those guys that were giving Garrett a hard time when he gave up the home run, and everybody running their mouths and stuff, and nothing was really resolved. Now they played that last game, that day game after the big fight. They played last Wednesday, and I from what I understand, like a couple guys got hit, but nothing happened. I don't know. It must have just been an accident or whatever.
Dietrich probably got hit again. I mean, the guy's been hit like 487 times this year.
I don't think it was Dietrich that got hit, but yes, he has been. I think he's leading all of baseball in getting hit.
He is.
So, but I really believe that would make sense. I don't know if there's a rule, if like it's actually in the rule book that when you serve a suspension, it's for the next games, either right up front or after your appeal is heard. But to me, if they have the authority, I think baseball should come down and say, okay, you guys have six games left. Amir Garrett, you're missing your next two games right now against whoever you play, which would be the Cubs right now. And then you're missing your last 6 games you're missing against the Pirates. The last 2 series, 6 games against them. Those are your last 6 games. So I just think that makes sense, and I don't see a reason why they wouldn't do that. I agree with you that it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but I think if they did that, I would think that would actually be pretty funny. I would kind of enjoy. I'd get a little chuckle out of it. I mean, it's not. I don't know. It's going to make that big of a deal. Maybe if it was like the Cubs and the Cardinals, and that went down, and you got some big dogs missing in a huge series against each other. Top 2 guys in the division, the top 2 teams. 2.5 games separate them, and you got a 4-game series, and now some of your team's not going to be there for 3, some of them won't be there for any of it. That could be a big deal. But the next time the Reds play, the Pirates are completely out of it anyway.
The Pirates are, but the Reds, the way they're playing right now, they're kind of working
the
their
way
way
they're
slowly
playing right
back
now,
in.
and the way that their starting rotation has turned, what their starting rotation has turned into, is. So let's transition into this. So let's just go. The fight's over. Bow tied. Right. Can we tie the bow?
We tied it up.
The ribbon's done. We're gonna get into it again someday, but I'm sure. But
on August 23rd, they play again in Pittsburgh.
We'll probably talk about it around then. So when Chris Archer does something stupid. So anyway, this starting rotation has become one of the best. I mean, it was already one of the best in Major League Baseball, one of the top 5. It's gotten better.
Yes. Alex
Wood is here, and he's pitching great. Sonny Gray, out of his mind, has been for a while now. Roark, he's had his ups and downs, but I mean, for the most part, that dude is consistently good. And, throw a guy Trevor Bauer in, that dude's a horse. That dude should be throwing 140 pitches every game. You hear me, Bell? He should be throwing 140 pitches every game. There's no reason he shouldn't be.
Luis Castillo said his
Castillo threw 120.
That's
120, right. 120 pitches, 119, whatever. Let him throw the 7th, and he struck out the side in the 7th. Good job, son.
For also a career high 13
strikeouts. Yeah, so you know what? When you got a guy on fire, just mows down the side to end the 7th inning, 120 pitches. Yeah, we'll take him out.
Yeah, and especially right now when Amir Garrett isn't pitching that great.
No.
David Hernandez is pitching horribly. There's maybe another guy or two that aren't great right now, and there are a few guys that are
David
pitching
Hernandez
pretty well.
is horrible.
He is.
David Hernandez has no reason being on this team right now.
Right.
He was zero reason being on it for the last 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, and he was, which is weird to think that that's how quickly you can lose your job, because he was great pretty much all last year, and he was really good for the first 4 months, 3 months or whatever of this season.
But listen, sometimes you need to get sent down to work on something. You can't work on something in a Major League Baseball game when your team, and I hate to say this, is in a race, but 4.5 games out of the wild card is you're in it.
Right.
There's a lot of baseball to play. They have 13 series that they're playing. 13 series left. That's a lot of baseball, brother.
Yes.
You can make up 4.5 games in no time. If you win 11 out of 13 series, which is, there's no reason that you couldn't say that you can't say they won't, because of how good their pitching is, right? Their starting pitching is.
Yes.
And their offense is hitting the ball. Mm-hmm. So if you win 11 out of 13, you 100% have an opportunity of being a wild card or even being on top of your division at this point.
Yeah, if most of those wins are, again, because you still have a lot of divisional games. They do have a chance to play their way even more back in. And it's funny to say that because they're still like five games under 500.
4 games under, 58 and 54, I believe.
So it's weird to think that they're really technically still in the race. They're still in contention for a possible playoff spot.
They're going to have to finish above 500.
Certainly.
But I'm saying if you can come out and run a string of 5 series in a row together that you win, I'm not talking about winning 12 in a row. I'm talking about hitting, 3 out of 4 against the Cubs, hitting 2 out of 3 against Arizona, hitting, these are all, they've got some games against people that are above them in the wild card race. They also have a lot of games against dead last teams in their divisions. This is an opportunity for the Reds to do some damage.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you mentioned the Cubs series coming up this weekend. It's a 4-game series here in Cincinnati. Big time. So if they get swept 4 games by the Cubs in 4 days, we're going to be talking like, I guess we were tricked. It's just not going to work out this year. But if they go 3-1 in that series, we're going to be like, man, yes, this team really is rolling, and we have got something going here, and we've got a really good opportunity here. So, the difference between 3 wins or 3 losses in the next 4 games against this Cubs team is going to, write the narrative for next week.
We've been saying that, dude, but we've been saying that for a month.
Well,
Here come this Cardinal series. This Cardinal series is going to tell us if we're going to be buyers or sellers. This series here is going to tell us what we're going to do. But there's a lot of baseball left. Yeah. It's not just this Cub series. Don't get me wrong. This is your opportunity to make up some ground, but it's not just this Cub series.
Right.
If you don't win this, if you lose 3 out of 4, that's going to suck. It's going to put you way behind. But you still have wild cards out there, or even if you split, 3 out of 4 is going to hurt you. But if you split it, that's not that's not terrible.
No,
I was terrible.
They split with the Braves over the weekend, and I was happy with that. There was a 4-game series against the Braves, and they split with them, and I was like, the Braves are a really good team. It was in Atlanta, and they split with them. You're putting yourself in a decent position. You play well enough against a really good team at their place in a 4-game series, and you split. And then as long as you take care of business, which they did, they came here and swept a 2-game series against the Angels just, the last 2 days.
Yeah.
That's when you do your damage, like you said. And then they play the Pirates 6 more times. The Pirates have become one of the worst teams in baseball now. So that's what you have to beat up on those teams. You have to get those 2 out of 3s, 3 out of 3s, stuff like that.
Right. Those have to be sweeps or 2 out of 3. You have to win those series.
And then if you can split, you can go 2 out of 3, or you can afford maybe a 1 out of 3 against or another really good team that's like at the top of the division that you don't have to necessarily jump over for the wild card. You can handle 1 or 2 of those. But like you said, you're going to have to win most of your series for the rest of the season.
Yes.
But like you said, not impossible the way they're playing right now.
No.
So this Cup series coming up is Players Weekend.
Real quick, fan question for you.
Let's do it.
Brad Ellis.
Yes.
Comes in, chiming in on the chat board.
Ben Jarvis, Brad Ellis.
Ben Jarvis, Brad Ellis. Man, I just said that, and I'm pretty impressed that I was able to say that, because that's like a tongue twister. My tongue's always twisted. Anyway,
dash Dan Horde.
Dash Dan Horde. Hey, so the question is, Speaking of Reds pitching
Mhm.
and relief pitching, what relief pitchers or relief pitcher do you currently trust coming out of the bull when he comes out of the bullpen?
Boy, that's Michael Lorenzen's been pitching. It seems like every single day.
Yep.
And for the most part, he's been pretty good.
He's had one or two that have hurt, but
Right.
that's the one. Old Horse Mouth is the only one that I think I can. The dude's built like a horse. He's got a mouth like a horse. He's
That's tough. But yeah,
like a horse.
I know what you I know what you're saying. But I honestly I think right now, because I trust him more than Garrett, I trust him more than Iglesias. I trust him more, obviously, than David Hernandez. Lucas Sims has pitched pretty well out of the bullpen, too, so far.
So what about Iglesias? I mean,
I honestly don't really trust him ever.
we
Honestly,
haven't
I really
trusted
don't.
it, between the two of us. We haven't trusted Iglesias since the beginning of the season, right?
Right. Yeah. I
mean, when
just
they
don't.
re-signed Iglesias, I immediately said, I don't trust that guy.
Yeah. No, we've been talking the last 2 years about hoping for him to get traded at the deadline, not because we don't like him or he's not a good pitcher or whatever, but because we would have gotten some sort of value out of him. He was one of the better relievers for the last couple years, and they could have gotten something for him.
Right.
But he has been, a lot of this year and even in the last couple years when he was mostly pretty good, there were times where he was just, he can't pitch more than like 2 days in a row, and he struggles sometimes, and he gives up the long ball, a little more often than I would like to see. But he, I think right now, unless there's somebody I'm not thinking of, and there probably is, but right now I think Michael Lorenzen for me. I mean, is it somebody else for you?
No, it's just Michael Lorenzen and Michael Lorenzen only. I mean, he's the only guy I trust coming out. David Hernandez, not at all. I see David Hernandez and I see leads going away, or at least every time he comes in, he gives up 2 runs.
Jared Hughes has even kind of struggled a little bit.
He has, and Amir Garrett was the only other guy for a long time, and he struggled a little bit here lately. But I still put Garrett in. I think I still trust Garrett. I still trust him. He struggled a couple outings. I still trust Garrett. I'm throwing him in there with Lorenzen.
Okay. Yep. We'll see. I mean, he's got a chance to. Of course, he's gonna once his suspension comes down officially and his appeal is heard and everything. And he gets that 10 games instead of 8 that we were talking about. He's going to have a long time to get to sit there and watch and kind of think about what he needs to do. And hopefully he takes this, by the way, the same way that Tucker Barnhart did, because Tucker Barnhart was hurt. He was on the injured list.
Woo!
He came back, and in 9 games, he has 9 RBIs, and that guy's on fire. And he talked about it yesterday. He had 2 home runs yesterday. And he talked about it after the game, and he said, I had a chance to kind of sit and reset and watch all these great players. And that's what I love that he was saying that he had a chance to try to learn from watching the other great players. Watching Votto every day, and of course he gets to see that anyway, but the other great players that you play against, the Freddie Freemans and all these other guys that you...
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Right, yeah.
Acuna, however you say it.
Every team has 1 or 2 guys that you can really, are really good ball players, hitters, that you can learn something from, and he did. He's like, I feel good. I changed a couple things up that I picked up from other guys, and that's why I'm feeling so good. So hopefully Garrett takes that same opportunity and can kind of watch a lot of film and stuff like that, and watch some of the other really good relief pitchers, and see about mixing up pitches and how situations and stuff like that, and figure out what he might be able to do a little differently to be a little bit more solid.
All right, so can you pronounce the newest member of the outfield? Can you pronounce his first name?
Aristides? Aristides Aquino?
Aristides. Nice. I can't say that.
He's speaking of red hot.
Dude, the Punisher is there. Remember how we were talking about nicknames and how nobody has good nicknames anymore?
Yeah.
My man's got a nickname. That's a nickname. The Punisher.
The Punisher?
I like that.
Isn't that a superhero or something?
Who cares? The Cobra's an animal.
Okay.
Dave, yeah, but when that dude hits it, he punishes it.
Man.
That is a good nickname. I like that nickname. We haven't had a really good nickname in a while. Boom. Done. Speaking of nicknames,
We are coming up on Players Weekend.
Do you think that guy has trouble seeing the ball?
Why would he have trouble?
I don't know. He's got to face the pitcher all the way, so he's got both eyes on him. It's the weirdest looking batting stance I've ever seen in my life.
But I've heard guys doing that.
Sure, yeah. Beltran did it for a while. A couple other guys did, but his hands he might have the fastest hands since Eric Davis as a Cincinnati Red.
That's the comparison that he's drawing a lot.
I haven't heard anybody say that, but when I watch him, that's what I see with his hands. His hands are Eric Davis. Yeah, you're right. Because I heard a few different people compare him, mostly because he's just built like him and he's wearing 44 right now, which is hard for me to see. But because it should be retired. But he is. He's tall, lanky, but he's got some strength. He's stronger than he looks like he would be, like Eric Davis was. And he does have really quick hands, really quick wrist. The bat speed is phenomenal.
It does. And I thought about that, and I noticed kind of a similar, like, just not necessarily his stance or whatever, but just his hands looked the same when he hit a home run the other night.
The whip that comes out. His hands are low. They come through low. The way ED's hands, he would start low. He'd get that hitch, but everything was low with him, and that's how this guy's hands are. And boy, when he hits them, good night, adios, amigos.
So he goes by the Punisher right now.
Yes, great nickname.
This weekend, we will see different names on the backs of the players' jerseys because it's Players Weekend. They get to have a little fun. To be honest with you, I don't know what else they do for Players Weekend, but I know they can put whatever nickname they want. I'm sure within reason.
Sure. I'm sure they have to be approved.
Right. On the backs of their jerseys. We're going to go through the Reds real quick, and I will tell you the nickname and see if you can guess. You already know one of them.
I know one. I know the only one that I know is a fun one for me. I really like Abbott and Costello. So Joey Votto is who.
Right.
So who is on first?
Exactly. And I thought that was pretty clever too.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who do you think Meat Sauce? He's going to have meat sauce on the back of his
Dimitri Young. No. Meat Sauce.
Not Meat Hook.
Meat Sauce. Meat Sauce. I'm going to call Meat Sauce Derek Dietrich.
That would be Josh Van Meter.
Oh,
Josh Van Meter.
You didn't tell me how they spelled it. You didn't tell me how they spelled meat sauce.
He spells it M-E-A-T, and that's not how his last name is spelled. But
well,
that's just a play on the sound of his last name, I guess. Beef.
Beef.
I'm
gonna go
another meat-themed nickname.
I'm gonna go with beef. I'm gonna go. I got the Reds roster pulled up. I'm going with Tucker Barnhart.
That's incorrect. That would be Brian O'Grady. Brian O'Grady, newcomer.
Okay, 215, 6'2", 215. He's got some beef on him.
Got some
plus,
beef.
Beef O'Grady's, Beef O'Brady's.
Right. That's I think that's where it comes in.
All right, now I got to start actually putting play on word things together.
Yeah.
Here. All right, let's do it.
Okay, how about ostrich?
Kyle Farmer. He's an ostrich farmer.
Oh, hey.
I'm trying.
That's not a bad guess.
I'm trying.
But it's Jared Hughes.
Oh, okay. I can see. He does kind of look like an ostrich.
I think you're going to know this one because it's just the guy's Twitter handle. Count on AG.
It's got to be Amir Garrett.
That's correct. This also is part of this guy's, at least his Instagram name, I think. But he goes by Magic.
Ooh, Magic. Magic. I'm gonna go with I'm going with Nick Senzel.
That would be Philip Irvin.
This is so like none of these nicknames make any sense at all.
I agree with you.
All right, this is fun.
Right.
Let's do two more.
Okay. Okay, two more.
Oh wait,
okay,
how many more do you got?
I mean, they've got everybody on here.
Well, let's just find two more. Let's find two more.
Okay.
Three more. What time is it?
Let's do. This one doesn't make sense either.
We're good. We got 2 minutes. A
Okay.
minute. We got 1 minute. Let's do
Bird.
Bird.
B-I-R-D. Bird.
B-I-R-D. Bird. I'm scrolling down here. Bird. Man, I would have said Jared Hughes when I looked at
There's
that. I'm gonna go Lucas Sims. Lucas Sims.
For some reason, it's Jesse Winker.
What?
Jesse
Winker does not look like a bird. All right, next, go.
Okay, how about this one? Bob. He's going to
Robert
have Bob.
Stevenson. That's
very good.
They call him Bob.
Very good.
They call him Bob. I've heard that before.
Okay, so yeah,
Come on, we got some time. We got time. Give me some more.
How about see a couple of these guys? Aristides Aquino just has Aquino. Sonny Gray just has Gray.
I like it.
I mean, why would you not do some play on Sonny? You know, like
just call him Philadelphia or something.
Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of guys that are using emojis that will have emojis on their backs. Yeah. I don't think any of the Reds. This
like
is
the
a strange
poop emoji.
one.
That's what I would use.
The poop emoji.
Yeah.
This one's weird. My little ones.
That's just some guy who's got little kids. Like that's not a nickname.
I know. It's Jose Peraza. You got to come up with something.
It'd have to be Peraza because I don't know why.
Lil Senzel. Lil Senzel.
Let me guess.
Come on, you could do better than that.
Lil Sens. Yeah, it should have been Lil Sens. I like Lil Sens better.
You got Disco. Everybody knows.
Everybody. Yep. Anthony Discofani.
You got Farm Dog.
That's going to be Kyle Farmer.
Exactly.
Anything else good in there?
No, I was disappointed in the Reds. I think Vado's Who is
What's
the
Suarez?
best one.
What's Suarez?
Let's see. Eugenio Suarez is Bolibomba Suarez.
Oh, Billy Bamba Suarez, because that's what it sounds like when they announce him. Suarez.
Suddenly, gosh, I wish I could remember that guy that did the hidey ho thing.
Hidey ho.
Yeah, see, you know it.
Hidey ho.
That guy was awesome. Okay, so anyway.
All right. Were there any good ones that you saw outside of the Reds?
You know what? There were a bunch of really good ones, but not really like
spectacular.
I don't know.
Funny,
yeah,
good, yeah.
So there were.
Why is he not the Punisher?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that would make sense for him to put that on the back of his.
He got called up too late or something, maybe, and they just put his name on it.
Everybody else, Brian O'Grady or whatever, has the
beef.
Yeah, he's got one. I don't know. You know what? Yeah, a few other ones. There's Big Fudge.
Big Fudge
For the Houston Astros. Jake Marisnick.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Maniator. Sean Manaea.
Omar Minaya.
Sean Manaea. Ken Giles for the Blue Jays is 100 Miles Giles. I don't know. Jerry Blevins for the Braves. On the back of his jersey, he is going to have Jerry.
It's going to say it 3 times.
3 of them. JER-RY.
Ridiculous.
3 kids with a $sign as the S on kids.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's Lorenzo Cain, who is a father of 3.
There you go.
You got
Lorenzo Cain. His nickname should be Coke.
Coke.
Yeah, cocaine.
Cocaine. Nice.
Man,
that's
come
very
on.
good. See, you're better at finding nicknames for guys who like have all the time in the world.
Pretty sure Coke didn't pass the Major League Baseball board.
Maybe not. He could just say like, "Oh, I really like Coca-Cola."
Yeah, Coca.
Anyway, Cole Hamels is Hollywood. That's not that original.
All right.
I don't know. I know one.
Got one. All right, let's go.
For the Dodgers, former Red Christopher Negron. You know what he's going to have on the back of his jersey this weekend?
I can't wait to hear.
Negron James.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like that one. That's good.
I knew you would. Oh, okay. Shane Bieber.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, Justin. It's gonna has to do something with Justin Bieber.
It says not Justin.
Not Justin.
That's a good one, too. Let's see. You got Max Scherzer. Last year he went with Blue Eye for the 2nd year in a row and missed an absolute layup. This year he's dunking at home.
Oh, he's going to be Yellow Eye or Brown Eye. He's got 2 different color eyes.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I did not know
Remember,
that.
because they said he'll be when he got something happened. What happened where he got a black eye? Something.
And it changed the color of his...
No. He ended up with a black eye this year. I can't remember how it happened, but they said he'll be the first pitcher ever to pitch with 3 different color eyes.
Yeah, Brown Eye is one that could be a little
I feel
controversial.
like that. But that, like I said, he did Blue Eye 2 years in a row, and he's like, look, man, I got 2 eyes. I keep trying to get Brown Eye in here. I got 2 different color eyes. I did Blue Eye 2 years in a row. I can't do it again.
He snuck that one past
I can't
the
do it again.
approvers,
It's
buddy.
Brown Eye. He had to put an appeal in for that. He had an argument. Unlike Amir Garrett.
Let's see.
Amir Garrett.
Nerd power with a nerd face emoji.
What's a nerd face emoji look like?
I think it's like has like the black square glasses
with like tape in the middle or something.
Which Eric Sogard, who
Okay.
wears those
Sunglasses.
glasses on the.
All
so
right.
anyway,
That's
yeah.
good. That's
Dr. Chill, the lettuce emoji, Scoots Magoots, Evan Marshall for the White Sox. On the back of his jersey, it's going to say "Forgetting Sarah."
Marshall.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Anyway, those are really the decent ones. So it's going to be, I don't know. Some of those will be kind of
Silly.
funny to see
It's
on
gonna be silly.
the field. But
All right. So I kind of like this, putting a bow, putting a ribbon in stuff. So we'll put a little ribbon inside of our inside of the baseball talk for today. It was mostly Reds talk, and it's going to be mostly Cincinnati podcast today, but it is what it is. So at the end of the podcast last week,
yes,
I turned it on, flipped, listened to it after I'd called in, listened to it, and you had mentioned that we had someone send you a gift to the podcast.
that's correct. I felt like that's how you know when your show or your podcast has kind of hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we're, but
Hey,
you know what I'm
listen,
saying.
dude,
Like we have some
millions
regular
and
listeners.
millions. Yeah, 100%.
We do. We have regular listeners, and one gentleman who listens to the podcast all the time. He was listening a couple of weeks ago when I was out.
Okay.
You and Joe Leonard were talking U.S. Women's National Soccer Team.
Yeah.
And soccer in general.
Okay, nice. So it's going to be a soccer thing.
Huge soccer guy.
Yes.
Huge soccer
Okay,
guy.
good,
He and his
good.
dad both huge soccer guys, and he's a soccer referee.
Okay.
Also, I believe, also an attorney.
Ah,
So he was
all right.
he had
He was all in on that
the double
podcast.
interest,
He was
yeah.
all in on that podcast. Wonder if he's a litigator. I found out that's what Joe is.
a
Our
litigator,
buddy,
right.
our friend,
I'm not
friend Joe.
100%.
I didn't know there was different types of attorneys.
Yeah.
I thought you went into attornicize different, like you could be-
Attornicize. I
you
love
could be
that.
you can attornicize for divorces. You can attornicize for businesses. I knew there was that, but I didn't know there was different types of attorneys. There's a litigator, and Joe Leonard, you're gonna have to help us out with what the other ones are.
And whatever Denzel Washington was in the movie Philadelphia. I don't know.
Nice,
But you
Tom Cruise.
so Tom Hanks was in that
I-
movie.
I was gonna say Tom Cruise
He
in
was-
that movie where
A Few Good Men.
There you go, A Few Good
There you
Men.
go.
That's it. You can't handle the truth. Okay, I'm
Jack
done.
Nicholson.
I'm done.
Very good. So anyway, this was a gift was passed on to you because you mentioned in that podcast that there was something that you that caught your attention that referees use in soccer games.
Yes. Did he send? Oh, tell me we got some white shaving cream or something. Holy cow! Look at this.
There you have it. That's
Ref
vanishing.
Edge Pro Vanishing Referee Spray. Control the game with Ref Edge Pro. This is awesome. I'm going to shake this well. I'm going to invert and I'm going to spray on the field. That's what I'm going to do.
You gotta
Free kick marking spray.
maybe take a little video of it when you do that. Oh, maybe you're gonna do it right now. Okay.
Oh, we got a nice little white line down here.
I think it might take a few minutes.
It's okay.
So-
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
So
Well,
first
they
of
gotta
all,
stand there for an hour and play around with the ball first.
so let me give a shout out to Johnny Brigg.
Oh,
right?
Johnny Brigg, little Johnny,
Brigg-
big Johnny,
Junior.
Okay.
So he passed it on to his dad, who passed it on to another guy that listens every week, Eric
big Xavier
Gagnon.
fans as well, by the
Yes.
way. Huge
Eric
Xavier
Gagnon,
fans.
John Brigg, big Xavier fans. You see him at the game sometimes.
Yes.
Season ticket holders. And I play basketball with them in a league every summer. Our last week is this week, actually coming up on Sunday. So, but Eric talks to me about the podcast every week, and John listens when he's with his son Johnny.
Yeah.
John Jr.
It's almost gone, by the way.
They listen. There it is. It's
Still there.
going away.
It's disappearing. It's almost gone.
And so John, they were listening to it,
Awesome.
and Johnny said, "Hey, you know what? I got an extra can of that in my referee bag. Here you go, Dad. Give this to Adam."
So awesome.
So to give to Chris.
1 to 5 minutes, depending on application.
There you go.
Man.
We'll see how it does on carpet, because that's what we just did it on.
Hey, listen, I feel like
it's the Rum Dome studio carpet, man. That's what it's for.
Yeah, I feel like it needed to be used right away, or else we wouldn't be handling the present correctly.
Right.
Johnny Jr., we appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm going to.
You're going to have fun playing with that in the backyard.
I'm going to play with this a lot, and then we are going to put it in the studio. The empty can, what's left of the Ref Edge Pro.
That will become a permanent part of this studio.
Yes, and I can't wait to see you and your dad. Definitely your dad. I see him all the time. We'll see you guys at the Xavier games. Same place, same time, same spot as always. Halftime, before, after games on the good side.
And thank you to Johnny and Eric Gagnon.
Johnny.
Yeah, for listening every week, as far as I know. Eric is leading the angry mob who has not gotten their T-shirts yet, and they are. He actually came at me with a pitchfork last
John
week.
Brigg is listening actually right now. Yes,
sir. So
he gave up the 2-hand. It was an emoji.
Nice.
It's 2 hands. What do you call this thing? It's 2 hands with some dots between them.
Is it senior or junior?
Junior.
Okay, good. All right. So anyway, thank you, Johnny, for listening, and for the gift for Chris to play with, and that's awesome. Yeah, that's
super awesome.
I was so excited all week to give you that because I knew you would love it,
dude. Ref Edge Pro might become a new sponsor of the Nosebleed Sports Podcast.
It might. We gotta talk. We gotta make some calls. And,
Shakewell, invert, spray field. Control the line by design. Ref Edge allows you to vary the width and duration of temporary lines. Move the nozzle rapidly to reduce both foam. Anyway.
Hey, thanks for the sponsor, Ref Edge.
All right. Ref Edge Pro, vanishing referees. This is awesome. I
know.
I just thought it was shaving cream. I did. I thought they just threw shaving cream down there.
Specific look. It's basically gone.
Yep.
It's
Might
pretty
as well
much
be gone. Yep.
That's cool. That's anything that disappears.
Dude, disappearing foam.
That's cool.
That is awesome. I feel like I should put this stuff on my skin. Maybe I can get my Mexican rash to disappear.
So speaking of that, you were on vacation in Mexico last week.
Yes, I was.
You were there for your anniversary, correct?
10 years. Thank you, Aaron, somehow for putting up with me. I don't know how you've done it for these years.
I don't know how either.
She really doesn't put up with me. I'm not going to lie to you. She really doesn't put up with me.
She puts you in your place when you need to be.
All the time.
Which is
pretty
a good
much
thing.
Constantly.
Which is a good thing. That's what you need. That's what we all need, actually. Anyway, but you did. Your very lovely wife, Erin, and you and a couple friends, right, went down to Mexico, enjoyed a little time away, right?
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned these bugs, these like grasshoppers, right, that were the size of, I think you said like an elephant.
The grasshopper was the size of this Ref Edge Pro can, dude. Like, that's the size of my hand. It's the size of my hand. These things are monsters.
I can't do like little tiny bugs the size of nothing.
And they fly right up to you, dude. They fly. That's the other thing. That's flying grasshoppers.
No.
They fly right up, boom, sit right there. You walk right up to them.
Big problem with this guy. Yeah. I will never, ever, ever go to Mexico because of what you just told me. Because of some grasshoppers.
Dude, the grasshoppers are phenomenal in Mexico.
Do they pose any kind of like, do they fly on you? Will they land on you? Will they?
No, didn't have one land on me at least. Okay. However, there are some little guys they call cooties or something like that. No, wait, what were they called? I can't really remember, but they got like anteater snouts, and they look like the body of a like
a monkey or something.
No, it's the body of a raccoon, and they're basically just little raccoons, and they're all over the place. All over the place. They come right up to you. They get into, they're running underneath the little beds on the beach and all that stuff. It was crazy.
Okay, even bigger problem. Way bigger problem with that.
I got some cool videos of them just running right by me.
Oh my gosh.
Aaron gave one a high five.
What?
Yeah, it just sat there and did a little dance for her, so she gave it a high five. Yeah, it was nuts.
I mean,
And then the iguanas were like 3.5 feet long.
See, I don't. Why? I mean,
they just walk all over.
How
the
are
place.
people not being attacked constantly down there by
what? An
weird
iguana?
wildlife?
Do iguanas even have teeth? I don't think they even
Yeah,
have teeth.
they're lizards. They have giant claws and giant fangs.
They don't have fangs
that sink into your neck whenever they want to.
They eat vegetation or bugs.
Yeah, bugs that land on my neck.
And they go get that
swallowed
bug.
up by the iguanas.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Man, I don't do insects or animals of any kind near me, so that sounds like a nightmare to me. But it was one of those all-inclusive resorts, correct?
That's correct.
I mean,
was.
you had a good time.
Oh yeah,
you were in the pool
swim
a lot,
up bar,
stuff like
swim
that.
up bar. There's no reason to leave the pool. It's
swim
the
up
greatest
bar.
thing. Yep, swim up bar.
So you were in the pool a lot of the time.
Like 7 hours, 8 hours a day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 7 hours, 8 hours a day. Never
and
got out.
You
I did get out once a day to go get tacos.
To get tacos, but you didn't say to go to the bathroom.
Oh, what do you got to go to the bathroom for? You got a big old giant one sitting there. You're swimming in the whole time.
My goodness!
Don't tell me you never peed in a pool.
Look, if I've urinated in a pool, it was when I was a little kid.
Oh. Yeah. Don't come to my house because I set up a floating cooler and I just float in the pool for a few hours. I knocked back 6, 7 of them and hey, is what it is.
I mean, was there not that blue dye in the pool? Don't they have that
no
stuff?
blue dye. That's just on the movies. What's that movie called? Parents, grandparents, old parents, funny parents.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Chris Rock and Kevin James.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. And Adam Sandler and David Spade and Rob Schneider.
There you
go. Yes.
Doesn't
Grown-ups.
happen. Doesn't happen.
Is what it's called.
At least it didn't happen to me. My pee must have just been super clear.
Well, that's good because if the water's blue and your pee is yellow, you're going to have a little green pool around you, right? I mean, you're going to have a little green.
I had nothing, man. I was you just go.
Nobody
knew because the pool was like 90 degrees. 98 degrees, so you just go and go, man.
So let me ask you this: if you're doing that, why don't you think everybody else is doing that?
Well, yeah, I definitely. I know. In that group, listen. By the time we were done, we had the Jellies in there hanging out with us. We had Chris and Molly, these guys hanging out with. I'm pretty sure that I ain't see anybody else getting out of the pool. Maybe one of the girls would get out every now and then, but it wasn't very often.
Because the girls are classy and they go to the bathroom.
They were doing it too. Everybody does it. It is what it is. If I called you out and said your name on this podcast, I apologize if I just did that. But like I said, maybe everybody else got out. I know I didn't.
So you're not bothered at all by knowing that other people might be peeing in the pool that you are
there's so much
floating
chlorine,
around
dude,
and
there's
swimming
so
in?
much chlorine there. By the time it comes out, it's already dead.
You think the chlorine
that's what
kills
it's for,
other people's pee that are climbing
all
all over
all
you?
the gross stuff in that pee, yeah, it's done. It's just basically water coming out, or beer or alcohol or whatever you just drank.
That's even worse.
There you go. Maybe I should have been drinking the water too.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
I haven't been in a pool in like 20 years, but next time I get in a pool, next time I know I'm going to be in a pool, I'm going to eat a ton of asparagus before I go in there.
You're going to stink that pool
and
up.
I'm going to drink as many colored liquids as I can, and I'm going to see what I can make.
There you go, man. That sounds good.
That's so, I mean, your trip to Mexico sounded incredible for you. It sounded horrible, really awful for me.
Yeah. You would have never liked it because it entailed sun. It entailed being outside. Mm-hmm. It entailed a pool and animals. Yeah, animals around. Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah,
boy,
pretty
oh
much.
boy.
Adam's. These are a few of my least favorite things.
Yeah, they really truly are, and I'm gonna sing that all week long as I think about animals peeing in a pool, being all over the place.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Okay, so you
apologize if you're offended by that. Please comment below.
Okay, there you go. Comment on Facebook Live. Throw us a comment on
whatever you're listening to, man,
platforms or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you listen to. Just throw a comment on whatever you're listening to. Let us know what you think about peeing in the pool.
Let me ask you
You're
one more
only
thing.
cool if you pee in the pool.
Okay, nice. Let me ask you one more thing about vacation.
Yes.
Because I'm going to be going on a vacation in October.
Holy cow, you're going on a vacation?
I'm going on a
didn't know
vacation,
that you
like
actually
flying
got
across the country.
Wow, I didn't know you got vacation.
Yeah, I elected to take a vacation.
Good for you. About time.
Yeah, thank
Where are
you.
you going to? Across the country?
I'm going to California to see our relatives.
Oh, that's
in LA.
right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Happy wedding day.
Yes, to Uncle Danny, and so I'm very excited. I'm excited to see all of our family out there and to go hang out and go somewhere else and do
Yeah,
a
go
couple
outside and
couple
walk
big
around
things I'm
and
excited
in the
about.
sun
Yeah,
and-
I'm gonna try to work in while I'm there that I'm excited about. Let me ask you about packing.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Well, I think everybody has a different idea about how they want to pack for a trip,
Okay.
right?
You're
If
going to ask
you're
me
gonna-
how I pack for a trip.
if-
All right, this should be good.
If you're going to be gone for you were gone for what?
Six days.
6 days. Okay, I'm going to be gone for five. Let's see, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday,
but I pretty
Sunday,
much just brought a
Monday,
Speedo.
Tuesday. Which we mentioned last week, by the way. Joe and I mentioned last week that I was actually a little worried about you because before we talked to you on Wednesday,
Did I show you the picture?
I
never
had
showed
not
you?
received my
Oh.
my picture, my vacation picture of you in a Speedo.
Man.
So
well, I got
was
one. I
nervous.
actually. So did I tell you what I did?
I don't think so.
Okay, so real quick, before you get into packing, so the other two people that were going to the same place as us from here, they buddy of mine, Mr. Brian Frimming, was going with us, and I decided I was going to buy him the exact same Speedo that I have.
Oh, jeez.
So I got on Amazon, I sent it to his house, and I labeled it "Big Sexy Brian Frimming."
And did he wear it?
He did wear it.
Wow.
He kept saying he was going to do it. I think it was like finally got to Thursday, and one day just because I would just randomly just dip down low in the pool, take my pants off, throw them at somebody, and then jump up and get on a ledge and do a backflip in the pool with my Speedo. Just be kind of funny for a minute. Randomly out of the blue, my man just gets out of the pool, drops his drawers, flings them directly at me with his foot. It was perfect. So great. We got a nice little picture outside of the pool together. I'm just going to say, I'll post it up on the Facebook page. You tell me who filled that Speedo out better.
I'm going to try not to make an assessment of that nature. I'm just going to look at it and probably laugh for a couple minutes, and then I'll go on my merry way.
Okay, that sounds.
So besides a Speedo,
You're packing. Let's hear it. What's your question?
I'm packing. So for like me, I want to pack light, but I'm also a guy that always wants to be prepared, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I usually tend to overpack a little bit, but I also I overpack, but I don't bring that much really. So it's really just clothes. I just don't want to run out of clothes or whatever.
Sure.
What are you bringing? How are you packing? Are you bringing a pair of underwear and a pair of socks, one for each day?
Well, it depends on what you're doing. What you're doing, yeah. I got a pair of socks for every day. I got a pair of drawers for every day. Now, at the same time, I always like to bring at least one pair of extra drawers with me.
Which I think you have to.
My experiences with things happen. Sometimes you need an extra pair of drawers. So I do that. I'm definitely there. Now, I'm also a roller. I'm a roller as well.
I am too.
I'm a roller. I like to roll my stuff. I don't know why. Somebody told me it doesn't wrinkle or
Supposedly
something.
saves space too.
Saves space. Doesn't wrinkle. Things like that. So that's where I'm at. I'm a sock a day and a drawer a day kind of guy.
Now, you wear a hat just as much as you wear underwear.
I brought more hats. I brought more hats than I did underwear to.
Are you kidding me?
To Mexico? I did. I brought my Mariners hat. I brought two Reds hats. I brought my son's baseball team hat. I brought my what do you call that? What do you call that hat I had on? The white hat there, the Cuban hat, whatever.
It's not
that
really
thing
a
is.
fedora. It's a
some kind of like that.
yeah.
I had my Mets hat. I had my A's hat, and I had my Astros hat.
You brought 8 hats.
I brought 8 hats with me
to a 6-day trip.
to a 6-day trip.
Did you wear?
Some people listen. Women bring all kinds of shoes, right? Women bring all kinds of shoes. My hats take up less space. I fold them together. I usually tuck in some drawers back behind them, pack them in nice and tight. The bill gets set underneath other clothes. I got figured out how to get the hat thing down.
That makes sense because you can fold the back in.
Yeah, fold them all in together. Bop, bop, bop. And I wore the little Cuban hat every day.
Yeah, the Tony Montana hat, right?
And listen, and I don't want to say a woman because there's guys that got shoe fetishes too. You do what you do. I want to I don't know what hat I'm going to wear every day. I might need this hat. I might need that hat. I might wear 3 hats in one day. You never know.
Did you wear all of the hats?
I did not. No.
Okay.
Nope.
So then did you feel like, man, I kind of wasted that?
No way, dude. It's like a security blanket.
Yeah.
It's a security blanket. I wake up, first thing I do is I walk into my closet and I look at my hats and I go, what's going to happen today? And my hat determines what clothes I'm going to wear.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Man, you're the biggest hat guy I know, I think. I know a lot of people that wear hats.
I don't know. We got a cousin right here, first in-house guest, Bobby Edwards, is a bigger hat guy than me. He's got more hats than I do.
He is a big hat guy.
He's got more hats.
But he is almost pretty much always wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I would say you guys are tied. He might have more hats because he gets them custom made. He's got a hat guy.
He's got a hat guy, and I found his hat guy. I actually
went
right? to get a hat made for him for his bachelor party. Went to Lids to go get it made. Started getting it made. I had him put Amanab on the back of it, and the guy goes, "Oh my gosh, I make all his hats!"
Nice. Bob is famous in the hat community.
Yes, he is. He's a famous hat guy.
So shout out Bobby Edwards. Okay, so we've established you pack. So I mean, are you a 1 bag guy? I mean, are you 1 bag, 2 bags?
If I can,
full suitcase.
Nah, if I can get on with just a carry-on, man, I like to keep my stuff with me if possible.
Definitely. I don't know if you know what
it's going to be tough to do, brother. You're going to have some liquids and stuff like that. Just you're going to have to check something.
Yeah, I am going to have to check.
But
something.
definitely, look, if you're checking a bag, make sure you got at least 1 or 2 changes of clothes in your carry-on.
Yeah,
because that bag gets lost, bro. You get out there. You don't know how long it's going to be before you get that carry-on bag. Before you get that check-in bag.
Emergency landing where we land in the ocean and we all end up on a deserted island, I got at least 1 change of clothes, right?
Yeah, I bring 2 with me.
If we land in the ocean, I die because I can't swim. But just if we land
find
close
a piece
enough,
of luggage to float on or something to float on.
Sure.
Some body.
Grab a dead body, some lady's dead body.
They got float
and just
thing
float
underneath the thing. You pull that thing from underneath. I don't know where it's at.
Oh
Underneath
no!
your
If we're
seat.
going down, I'm panicking and I'm forgetting all of those instructions. I'm gonna dive out of the plane right before we hit the water to try to make sure.
Now I want to be the guy next to you so I can help you out. I feel like you need some help, Banana Boat.
I do need some help. I can't do anything in water, and I'm wearing a shirt that says Banana Boat. Anyway,
Banana Boat is. They also make a phenomenal aloe lotion. Get a little burn, turns it directly to suntan. It's like magic.
Okay, very nice. It's also some boat that LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul and Carmelo Anthony all take together with all their wives. And anyway,
probably have tacos on it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yep.
More than likely.
So anyway, all right. So we've talked through the vacation thing. Thank you for the advice, the packing advice.
That's what I'm here for.
I may ask you for a couple more tips again before then. It's October before I go, so we got plenty of time to talk about that.
Yep.
One thing that we have actually received a request from a very loyal listener the last couple weeks. He wants us to discuss.
This is how we do with requests. We put them at the very end of the podcast.
Because we don't care about them.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We actually talked about maybe putting this at the beginning, but we wanted to anyway,
I got you.
In our show meeting, our show prep meeting, this is how we decided the rundown was going to be. Joe Leonard wants us to address Bengals training camp in the NFL.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Bengals training camp. The biggest thing in Bengals training camp is
AJ Green. Very first day, 2 Saturdays ago, a week and a half ago, hurt his ankle I don't know if it was. I think it was maybe considered a sprain, but he tore ligaments in his ankle. Had to get surgery. Um, AJ Green, this will be so they said originally 6 to 8 weeks possibly that he would miss, which didn't sound horrible because it was so early in camp. But after the surgery, they figured out that it was a little bit worse maybe than they thought. So he may be missing multiple games to start the season. AJ Green is 31 is almost 31 years old. 3 out of the last 4 years he has missed regular season football games because of injury.
And this is his last year under contract with the Bengals. If you're AJ Green, do you pull Le'Veon Bell? Do you pull who's doing it right now? Ezekiel Elliott? Do you just say, you know what? I'm injured. I'm not messing with this. I'm taking this whole year off. I'm still in my prime. Well, kinda. He's at the back end of his prime, but he's still in his prime-ish.
And the injuries don't help.
Injuries don't help at all. Let's take a year off and see if I can get into free agency and make some money. What do you think? He's not going to do that. He's not that kind of guy.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He is not. He's the opposite of the Le'Veon Bells and the Ezekiel Elliott's. The guy he's got his head on straight. But it's. I understand what you're saying. But no, I don't think he's going to do that. And he's talked about wanting to finish, loving being in Cincinnati, wanting to finish his career as a Bengal. Mike Brown has said he's interested in keeping him on. But, you got to consider these injuries. I mean, 3 of the last 4 years he's missed games now, and he's going to miss some games this year. What does that – I mean, that certainly doesn't do him any favors if he decides to test the free agent waters, right? I mean, he's not gonna get the same kind of offer.
He's not gonna get Julio Jones money or anything like that, or Antonio Brown money. But at the same time, he's gonna make money. The guy is still a game changer when he's in the game.
Yeah,
and attracts attention and everything else. He catches almost everything thrown to him unless it's 10 miles over his head from Andy Dalton.
Right, right, or out of bounds. Yeah,
exactly.
But. Okay, so then, but does the injury and the string of injuries, does that make it a little bit easier maybe for the Bengals to sign him to an extension?
Yeah, I would say yes, just because they can say, listen, well, I think maybe in the end, but I think they can lowball him. I think they feel like they can lowball him, and he's going to go test the waters, and it may not be exactly what he thinks is going to be out there, and then he comes back and accepts an offer. If I was him, I'd be gone.
Really? You would go?
I would leave the Bengals as the second I had an opportunity to.
Well, we're hearing from everything in training camp, we're hearing that the offensive line does not look good right now. And they also lost their first pick of the draft. Williams starts with a J.
Yeah. He's injured. He's out for is he out for the season? How long is he gone?
Yeah,
for?
I think the season.
The
season.
So
and I was excited about that because I thought he was really going to kind of start anchoring this line right away.
And then you got
was it Clint Bowling?
Who retired. So now all of a sudden, where you thought maybe we're getting a little bit of depth here on our offensive line finally, which has been terrible for the last 2.5, 3 years. Now all of a sudden you're getting a little bit of depth, and now you're right back to where you were.
Right. So that's not good. Now the good thing is it sounds like the defense, and especially the defensive line, looks phenomenal. Looks really, really good. Now, yes, they're going against the offensive line right now, so yes,
that's
they're going to look good.
But
individually, I've been hearing that individuals are really looking especially good in camp right now. And by the way, we're already going to have this Saturday is their first preseason game, unfortunately against the Chiefs, one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yep.
But, they're going to actually get to go against some other, another NFL team and kind of see where they're at. And we'll get to see, from what I understand, we'll actually get to see maybe a couple of series, 2-3 series with the with the starters, who will be the starters, or who we expect to be the starters anyway.
Right. So this is how bad this offensive line has gotten. The very first, a couple of days ago, the first depth chart was put out there, right? So their left guard Starting left guard is Tom and Jerry's brother, John Jerry.
Okay.
You ever heard of John Jerry?
John Jerry. I have not heard of John Jerry.
And then you got Billy Price, of course,
Jerry
at
Jones.
center. Billy Price, of course, at center. And then Bobby Hart's going to be your right tackle. Your left tackle is Cordy Glenn. Those guys are both kind of have their good and bad moments, we'll just say. And then your right guard is the voice of the San Francisco Giants, Johnny
Miller. We've got John
Another
Miller.
guy. I don't know who John Miller is. I don't know where he came from. I don't know anything about him.
No, but he's like 80-something years old.
Yeah,
He's
that's
been
gonna be
calling
rough
Giants
for him.
games. He's calling with
And
Joe Morgan for a long time.
Tyler Eifert is the second tight end.
The second tight end.
CJ Uzama they have him as the number 1 tight end on this depth chart. That was released by the Bengals a couple days ago.
I've heard that Carl Lawson looks awesome, like really good right now. You expect, Geno Atkins and the other folks,
Carlos Dunlap,
right? You expect those guys to be good. And I'm not really worried too much about the defense. I think the defense is going to be pretty good. But you do, AJ Green's.
What about their? I mean, so you're okay with you're good with their linebacking group. I mean, you got Preston Brown, who never missed a game until he became a Bengal.
Right.
So he's back, and he led the league in tackles last time he actually played football, that's big. But, Nick Vigil, Sam Hubbard, I'm not saying they're bad guys. I'm just not saying that they're anything special.
Yep. No, I agree with you on that. Hopefully hopefully the secondary and, up front, hopefully that's going to be good enough to make them a pretty good defense. Now, are they going to be a top 2 or 3 defense in the league? No, probably not. But hopefully they play well enough to. Now, are they going to be good in the regular season against the Chiefs? Nope. I think they're going to get.
The Chiefs
50 again. They're going to put 50 up on them again.
Well, the Chiefs aren't going to play. I mean, their main guys aren't going to play the whole game. That's going to be.
Oh no, not this weekend. No, absolutely not. Right.
Now here's something that I wanted to say. This is kind of the biggest change for me, and it's been talked about here and there. So for years, it's easy to scheme against the Bengals. If you got one good defensive back and one that's not playing very well, or you got a guy who's injured and you got a rookie in there, you just throw your better receiver on the left side, and then he's up against the rookie. It's that simple. Or put somebody in the slot, and if maybe our nickel cornerback's not good, just depending. I like the fact that they're letting William Jackson shadow. He is going to just shadow the best receiver on the team. Yeah. He will not leave him. I really like that. I like that.
Too.
That's Darrelle Revis was would just shadow whoever the best guy was, but then you had guys like the guy. Richard Sherman, who just played on the right side or left side, whatever side it was, but that was his side. You didn't throw over there, and it was you don't throw to the left side of the field. Mm-hmm. Is what it is.
Either way, you're doing your job.
Either way, you're doing your job, but I like it better when you travel with that guy. Make that guy's whole day suck.
Match up against their best guy.
Yeah, because at the end of the game, they're going to be they're going to be moving him all around anyway to get him away from your best guy. So I'm excited to see the Bengals playing a little bit different type of ball, both offensively and defensively. Hopefully, we can get our buddy Andre Edwards on the podcast, Bengals Insider, beat writer, just writer.
Yeah, writer for LockedOnBengals.com.
Locked On Bengals, that's what it is. Bengals Insider. LockedOnBengals.com. Hopefully, we can get him on at some point here soon, because he's going to know way more about these Bengals than we do.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to hear what he's got to say, but I definitely would like to know what he thinks about that, because I want to know, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Is that wear out your best defender then too? At the end of the game, is he wore out? What are the good, bad, and ugly about that?
Yeah. Yep. I would be very interested, because I can't give you a good answer on that. I'm interested to hear what Andre has to say about that, and about AJ Green, what they're going to do. Of course, Tyler Boyd, I guess, is your next guy that steps up and is your kind of number one until AJ comes back. And you're going to use, hopefully they're going to use the tight ends, and they'll throw a little bit out of the backfield and stuff like that too. So I think they can. I really do still think they have enough weapons to mix it up and spread it around, so that you're not going to be killed by missing AJ Green, but you're going to
Joe
get
Mixon
better.
is a stud.
Yes,
All
he
right,
is.
Joe Mixon is an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
He's a stud who beat the crap out of his old lady, and I'm going to continue to talk about that forever because he got a lot of crap for that, as well he should be.
Yes.
So anyway, he's a stud that beat the living daylights out of some chick, and with that being said, with him out there, you still are going to have Tyler Boyd. You're going to have John Ross in his 4th season now. Hopefully, a change of coaching staff will open up the talent that this kid has with his speed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some other guys out there. I mean, Josh Malone, he's always just kind of been ho-hum. He's never really done anything. But it'll be interesting. You still got a couple receivers. I think Alex Erickson could he's shown that he can be special with the ball and special teams. So, hopefully he gets a little bit more of a chance. Cody Core, there's a few guys, but mainly it's going to be Tyler Boyd, John Ross, Joe Mixon, Giovanni Bernard. That's it. That's what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And then Uzama or Tyler Eifert if Eifert can last more than 6 plays.
Right.
So, yeah, I think there's still good there until AJ Green comes back. AJ Green comes back, all of a sudden that little mixture sounds really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, we are in the next few weeks. We are going to hopefully get as long as he still loves us. We'll hopefully get Andre back on.
Did we do something so he wouldn't love us?
No.
Oh,
I'm just
it's
saying.
Andre Edwards, man. Andre loves everybody. That
Yeah,
dude's
I
full
know.
of love, man.
I know he is.
Full of love.
So yeah, hopefully we'll get Andre back
And
on.
he's family. Like I feel like he has to.
He is.
I feel like he feels like he has to because
he
he's
has
family.
to be. I just saw his parents last weekend.
Did you?
Yeah. So anyway, we'll get. Yeah, they are. They're the Edwards. So yes, they are our family.
That's how-
Bob, Mike, Tony, Danny, Andre, Keith,
Exactly.
the whole Edwards clan. So anyway, we'll get him on, like you said, and we'll talk some more Bengals in the next couple weeks here. So we, getting ready for the season. It'll be here before you know it, and then it'll be over before you know it. So we got a lot of. We'll talk more football and more Bengals.
And the football will be over, and we'll get right back into basketball.
Well, we'll talk basketball as soon as basketball starts, even though football is going on, and we'll talk baseball until that's over, even though those are at the same time.
It is what it is. We apologize. Listen, baseball, basketball, that's what we enjoy.
Right.
Speaking of Trevor Bauer, I'm pretty excited about seeing this dude come over since he's been here. He had a decent start the other day, and I'm really excited to see his start against the Cubbies.
Yeah. Did you see the pitching matchups?
Gosh, man,
this weekend,
dude. It's
I mean, every day.
It's like the starting matchup for an All-Star game every day.
Yeah, it really is. So
it really is.
It's going to be exciting. The Cubs series is going to be exciting, and the rest of the way, look for the Reds. And then if they peter out and they start playing poorly again or whatever, and they get eliminated from contention of any playoff spot, it's still going to be fun to watch. It's always fun to watch the last month of baseball, and you really start getting those playoff races really start getting hot, even when our Reds aren't in it. It's just fun, man.
Yep.
Baseball in September, and then especially in October when the playoffs start and everything, it's just fun because then you only really see like everybody's top 3 pitchers and that kind of stuff.
That's what I enjoy.
Right. So it's very
I would
exciting.
love to see this Reds team in a 7-game series.
So
they
would
have
I.
got the pitching staff to lock down a 7-game series.
Tell you what, next season, especially if they can re-sign Alex Wood, holy cow, would this rotation be so nice going into next season?
It would be, but chances of signing Alex Wood are pretty slim. They're I mean, you throw something out there at him, he's more than likely he's gonna get offered more money somewhere. But it's slim to none. Either way, he leaves and gets signed with somebody else, you're going to get a nice compensatory pick for that anyway. So
Sure. Yep. And
Without
you
a
still
doubt.
have, you can slot DeSclafani or Malley or Lucas Sims or whoever has a great offseason and whoever comes into spring training strong and that
go
kind
back
of
out
thing.
and do this again, man. Go get you another couple prime starters at the end of a contract. Why not?
Sure.
If it works, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm ready to do it. Let's do it one season at a time.
One
Just keep
season at a time, baby.
buying them and throwing them away.
Heck yeah, why not? Be like the Marlins.
Yeah.
Just they did it a little differently, but bring them up, whole different team next year.
Yep. All righty. Well,
so we'll see. Maybe we'll have a little more football because the first weekend of preseason is this week. First preseason is this week. So we'll have a little bit more football probably next week. Definitely some more baseball as we see what the Reds did in this Cup Series. And, maybe we'll go around a little bit more national baseball stuff because I'd like to get your opinion on the Cody Bellinger, Christian Yelich deal that's going on. There's some other guys jumping in for the MVP race. It's looking like the Triple Crown deal is probably gone, but the MVP race between these two and what you think so far because they've both had phenomenal seasons. So
Eugenio Suarez.
National
League MVP.
National League MVP, 30 home runs, which is what both of those guys had at the All-Star break.
Yeah, 30 home runs. He's got like 70-something RBIs. Those guys are nearing 100, I think.
So, I'm with you on that. Sure. So anyway, we'll get you next week. We appreciate you listening. Like always, you can catch us on all the platforms that have podcasts as well as YouTube, and newest addition was iHeartRadio, so check it out on there. We appreciate it. Leave some comments, hit the like button. Don't forget to turn your headlights on.